Well, welcome back inside Mission Control, now into the flight control room. We're joined once again by one of the folks, one of the experts in the commercial crew program, Sarah Waechter. She is the partner manager for Excalibur Almaz Incorporated, which is one of the 7 partners associated with the commercial crew programs, Space Act agreements, and of course, Sarah, you know we had Ed Mango here, and we just had Brad Jones talking about the overall integration of it, but I wanted to take an opportunity to talk to all 7 of the partner managers, and you're based here at the Johnson Space Center.
Yes.
But start out by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in NASA and where you're from.
All right. I'm originally from a small town in southeast Ohio called Marietta, Ohio. Grew up on a farm. My dad was an engineer, so it helped to encourage me to go down that path. So I went to Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, and I got a bachelor's in manufacturing engineering as well as a bachelor's in engineering management. And then a few years later, I went to the University of Florida and got a master's in industrial engineering management. While I was in college, I had someone from the Johnson Space Center come and give us a talk about how she trained astronauts, and she was from the same university I was going to, and it helped encourage me to think that maybe I could do that. So I started looking into co-ops for NASA, and I ended up getting a co-op at Glenn Research Center in Cleveland, and I worked there throughout college and then after college as well. And then I transferred to Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where I worked on every major part of the space shuttle, from the SRBs to the external tank to the orbiter. And then a year and a half ago, I transferred here to Johnson Space Center in the commercial crew program.
Great. So now you started with NASA then when at the Kennedy Space Center?
At Kennedy, I started in 2006, but I started working for NASA in 2002.
Okay, so you co-opted
Yes.
during that time frame. So you've been here in Houston now for about a year and a half,
Yes.
and it was specifically to join the commercial crew program.
Yes.
Well, first off, describe what a partner manager does, because we talked about the integration with Brad, and Ed gave the overall program perspective, but as you're working, you're focused with one of these 7 partners, so describe what your role is with Excalibur Almaz Inc.
All right. As the partner manager, it's my job to do the day-to-day integration with my specific partner. So I'm in regular communication with Excalibur Almaz, as well as I help to I'm supposed to be the expert within the program on their designs. So I do daily insight or communication with also my team. And we mentioned earlier the PIT teams, which is our partner integration teams, or their PIT crew, as we like to call them. And so I lead a team, a PIT crew, to help support Excalibur Almaz Incorporated in their development. And so it's a mutual benefit where we can help them further their development, as well as we learn about their design, and they teach us a little bit something different than what we've done before.
Right, and of course you talked about the integration part with the company, but so how have y'all been received? You working with them working with you?
We've been received very well, particularly for Excalibur. They are a company that has a lot of people that used to work on programs that NASA supported. So they're very familiar with NASA in general, but they also know all the experience and knowledge that we have within NASA, and they greatly appreciate anything we can do to help them. And so this agreement's worked out best for both of us. We can both learn and at the same time.
So the Space Act agreements, the way it's laid out is, of course, EAI, it's an unfunded Space Act agreement, but they still have milestones just like all the other 6 partners, right? So can you talk about what kind of milestones they have, what they've met, and what's kind of in store for them or down the road here?
So that's a good point. We have our 7 partners, and some of them are funded and some are unfunded through their Space Act agreements. So the difference between funded and unfunded is the Space Act agreements are set up as a series of milestones that we've agreed to up front. And so if it's funded, when they accomplish that milestone, they get funding associated with that. But for an unfunded agreement, there's no funding coming from NASA. So what it ends up being is it's, again, a mutual agreement agreement between the two, but it's also a mutual benefit. So we both can provide knowledge and experience and kind of learn and grow together. And so at the end of our agreement, we're both further than where we started.
I think you gave us a couple of photos to sort of show it. Maybe we can show the first one for you, and you can describe. This looks like the capsule itself.
Yes. So Excalibur, they have purchased heritage hardware, and they're using that for both ISS transportation as well as tourism and cargo development. And so far within our program, we've accomplished 2 of the milestones. We accomplished kickoff, so that kind of gave our whole team a summary of what they've already done because they were already down their path of development, as well as a systems requirements development discussion. And so where we plan to take it from here is they have that purchase capsule, and they're going to continue to develop it by adding a service module to the aft end of it. And then on the forward end, they have the parachutes, and they have a launch abort system and everything. So that's what's in those pictures.
I think that's what the third image, yeah, there it is for you.
And so we're working with Excalibur on their future milestones, which is a test status review as well as the design status review. So we'll be working on tracking their testing as they accomplish as well as their design. And then also they have a milestone to work on their launch vehicle compatibility. So looking at the rocket that's going to get them to space and which rocket would work best for their capsule.
And you mentioned Excalibur has a number of people that obviously work, you know, with the shuttle program or other programs on the NASA side. So, you know, I asked Brad this, but I assume that they have the same type of excitement, you know, working on this project as, you know, anyone else would.
Oh yes, we definitely share the same passion for human spaceflight, and it was very exciting. This is a new program for NASA, but many of these companies have been working on their development for several years. So to join them in their design and development has been exciting on both sides, and also it's kind of exciting to learn something new and how they can do it a little bit different.
So I'll wrap up with one question. It may be easy, maybe not, but you know, how do you describe your job to family and friends that may not really fully understand what we're headed to now that the space shuttle's retired, that we're looking toward a new transport system for crews to and from low Earth orbit and the International Space Station?
I try to explain I'm working for NASA, but we're trying to help commercial companies develop spacecrafts that are going to take astronauts to the International Space Station, but also someday they may take any one of us into space for our spring break or for our summer vacation. So it's an exciting development, a new frontier for all of us, not just our astronauts.
Well, great. I appreciate you joining us, Sarah Waechter, the commercial crew program partner manager for Excalibur Almaz Inc. EAI. We appreciate you dropping by and talking to us for a few minutes. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.